I don't only teach them the Word of God, but I give them practical things that they can live on this earth and live here. You know what I'm saying? That's very important to me. My discipleship is all around. It's
It's holistic.
Holistic. You want to be a business person. You want to be a Christian business person. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be, and they can do it. They can do it.
So why do you think? I guess this is a really good question, because I think I deal with this is that when you're on it and you're hustling and you're grinding and you're starting businesses and you're entrepreneurial, why do you think there's always this pushback from the faith community to say that, oh, you're concerned with worldly wealth, you should be concerned with heavenly gain, right? There's always this like shaming of people of faith who go get it, who hustle, who run businesses, right? Especially pastors. You know what I mean? Like God forbid you're a pastor and you got a little money. You know what I'm saying? They really come at your neck. But you're sitting here saying, I have several different businesses. You own a print shop. God belongs in my city. You have the Youth for Christ, and then you're a bivocational youth pastor. Yeah. Why do you think there's this tension and this like shaming, and just the way they speak down on entrepreneurialism? I think is just very, because you're really like helping people change the trajectory of their life in a tangible way.
I don't want people to be poor. I want people to be rich, rich in their soul, and also not rich in the sense of being prosperous. I don't believe in the prosperity gospel, but also understand that they could create wealth. The Jewish people are very successful, right? Because this is what they do. Yep. It takes 30 days for the money of a Jewish person to be in their community, circulation in their community. Right. But it takes us, that's what I say for me, a Latino community, it takes seconds to take my money out to somebody else's. And it's just like, all right, good. You're spending all this money, but it's not within the community. Right. So I want to make sure that if I do business, like let's say you do business with me, like you helping me out, I'm helping you out. Right. We're working together. Right. And so we're creating this, cycle of entrepreneurship. Right. I think pastors are missing they're missing a huge discipleship tool. Right. Which is training people to become successful, not only as a follower of Christ, but also as a business. And so, but Jesus is all that. I mean, Jesus was a carpenter. Right. Paul sold tents. Right. I mean, he had a hustle for the kingdom, and I'm doing everything I do is hustle for the kingdom. It's not basically, it's not hustling for myself.
Tell me you got that you got a shirt coming.
We should have that shirt. We should
hustle for the kingdom.
Hustle for the kingdom. It's just a hustle for the kingdom. What I do is for the kingdom.
Right. You talking about buying a pizza joint across the street from the church?
Yeah. So I want to buy that pizza shop. I know that guy since I was 5 years old. I'm 35. He knew me for 30 years. I said, don't sell it to nobody. Sell it to the people within the community. Yeah. Let me take it. Let me run it. I got a manager already. And so I got a manager already in line. I got the accountants already in line. And it's not that expensive if you think about it. Really? Brooklyn. It's not expensive at all. Huh. You just got to get the money. And what that does is we're trying to get that money hustle for the kingdom. That money will bless people,
We were talking about, and I'm sure you can speak to this, we were talking about like the gentrification process in Brooklyn, right? Yeah. But then the people who've been here and who were maybe lower middle class or middle class that bought buildings and bought property are in a place sitting, maybe they don't got a bunch of cash flow, but they're sitting with a ton of net worth that they could pass down and pass down and pass down.
We're in a stoop right here that this house was bought from my wife's grandfather for $14,000 right here. $14,000 he bought this.
And what do these go for right now?
3.5.
Because of a decision that you said your father-in-law made?
My wife's grandfather bought the house, sold it to his daughter, in-laws, sold it to his daughter. Now it's part of our inheritance. He's not gonna sell this place for nothing, and just so, it's funny is that my father back in the days, my dad back in the days, this is crazy. The owner, which is my grandfather, he passed away, but he had to pay his last mortgage, and no one of his family had the money. My dad opened the business back in the days. He still has it. Gave him his last mortgage payment. Wow. Didn't know 30 years later his son's gonna marry into the family. And
That's
it's
crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, didn't know. 30 years later.
See, and this is where you start, like, you make gentrification work for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
like you get in and you're faithful to your local community, and then something happens where a property goes from being worth a couple $100,000 to a couple million. That you know, and the possibility to pass down wealth generationally,
Exactly.
we just overlook it because everybody's, like you said, they get money and they go spend it on something within a few seconds. They don't spend it in their communities. They don't invest it. They don't look at buying properties.
No.
And then you just keep going through it. You know what I mean? And then we wonder why. Well, why are we the wealthiest? Why are we the richest nation globally, right? But yeah, we walk around with a poverty mindset.
And also, and that's that's a problem with our theology. I mean, it's just like, people think, people define our theology that you have to be poor, you have to be, humble, you have to be all this stuff. In reality, is God wants you. He wants to bless you. He wants to give you. I mean, knowledge is important. Study. I went to college, graduate college first of my family because I wanted to know and be better. Make better decisions for my family. So a lot of young people don't do that, don't think of that kind of stuff. They just think about what's easier because they see their past family members do the same thing. It's like what's easier, faster to do that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I have some young people that wouldn't get a job because their mom and dad that don't serve the Lord would tell them, listen, if you get a job, we stop getting welfare. And it's like, and they live in that mentality, and they love God. These kids love God, but they live in that mentality, and I'm just like wrestling with that.
I forgot who said this, and this is going to be very controversial, but I'm sure a lot of yourself and a lot of pastors would agree with me. Somebody said that I don't believe in the prosperity gospel, but I believe the gospel should cause me to prosper in every area of my life. And I would add the caveat, especially if you're in North America, able-bodied and of sound mind.
Truly believe that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I truly believe that.
So it's like, if we're living out these things, right, that we oftentimes compartmentalize and say, oh no, like finances in the scriptures don't align, or my marriage in the scriptures don't align, or business in the scriptures don't align, and then we actually embody these principles and make them holistic, like you're teaching your youth to do, it should cause us to. I should have a better marriage every year. Now, granted, I'm going to have the rough patches and all that, but I should be getting better financially. I should be growing in wisdom and becoming a better father.
Exactly.
I should be prospering, which is prosper really just means peace. Peace, true. Right? Yeah. Just peace financially, peace. I don't have all the money in the world, but I don't worry about money anymore. I have peace. Because I don't have debt, because we've made some good decisions, because I've built businesses, because I have passive incomes that allow me to do stuff like come and just spend a week in New York and connect and glean and get wisdom, So, and I'm not gonna say this applies globally, right? Because there's parts of the world where like people are oppressed, people don't have drinking water, right? So I'm not saying that, but I do feel like in America, if you're able-bodied and you are of sound mind, and you're a believer in Jesus, that should move the needle holistically in your life.
I mean, it has to. I mean, it has to. Jesus, teaches that. We have to change this culture, change this world, and the only way to do that is to invest. I mean, Daniel in the Bible is clear, great. He knew the language. He did this. He was smart. God gave him favor. He was obedient, and he literally changed a city. And he changed leadership. And so if we're not that type of people, this is what I can't stand. It's just, we're going to church Sundays and just do our thing. And like, listen, Monday is the time to take over.
Facts.
Take over your job. Learn your job. I tell people, learn your job, understand your job, study your job. If you like it, do your own thing. Like I got people jumping on me and learning from me. And now they're doing their own t-shirt business. I'm like, and they're believers. I'm like, now you're making money. Right. Now you're hustling it up. Now you're doing your thing. So it's a blessing to me to see that. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for our youth, our church, to look at every aspect of life and be faithful to it and say, God, here I am. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to change the world. I'm here to be a disciple. But let me do this faithfully. Let me do this by faith, and let's make it happen. So
let's go, man.
That's what I'm saying, Pop.
Pastor Danny. God belongs in my city.
I'm wishing that they knew God. I'm wishing I could time travel. Like, what if I could have knew Pop? I'ma ask Jesus in heaven that. With my reverend, I'm never heading back. words he told me really matter though. I'm feeling like God has been my catapult. Here's the new beginnings, here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent, we pull up so independent. They say we too down for the victory, way too down for the victory. I told them the past is the history, we could essentially move as we letting it go. Here's the new beginnings, here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent, we pull up so independent. They say we too down for the victory, way too down for the victory. I told them the past is the history, we could essentially move as we letting it